Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Healing Lounge. On today, we have a very special guest, Odysseus, or as he likes to say, OD, Overdose on Love. OD is a certified quantum healer, mentor, and author with over 20 years of experience guiding women in healing, mindset, and wellness mastery. His mission: to build a global tribe of healers who are awakening to their divine potential and embodying their highest selves. With a background in nutrition from San Diego State University, OD has always been passionate about health and transformation. At just 24 years old, he built his own private gym and later expanded to a corporate wellness center. But when COVID shut everything down, he lost it all, only to rise stronger than ever. He embraced a nomadic lifestyle, built a campervan, and began traveling the United States, sharing his wisdom, publishing his book, Shadow Awakening, and creating his Alchemy Healing Academy, an online mystery school for deep spiritual transformation. Now, with 2 years of sobriety, a healed fractured vertebrae, and a renewed sense of purpose, Odie is on a mission to help people step into their power, integrate their shadow, and live in full authenticity. Odie, thank you so much for being here today and for making the time to appear here on the Healing Lounge. How are you doing?
I'm honestly, I told you before the call, it's been a rough week. I've been through a lot personally with broke up with my girlfriend, had some death in the family. But overall, I'm doing really good because it's one of those things where, you're a coach, you're a healer, and you go through stuff too. And so I've been just sharing my journey of navigating the pain of my own breakup and healing the loss of people that I really loved. And I feel like it's very cleansing. So it's actually a very unique moment in my life where I'm like getting high on my own supply is my joke that I like to say, where I'm actually using a lot of my own tools to help me navigate what's coming up for me. So it's actually a beautiful time for this podcast because I'm going through my own stuff and just makes me more raw, authentic. And I get to actually share what the experience is when you're going through those dark spaces. I mean, I teach shadow work. So I'm using a lot of my own shadow work tools to help me navigate what's coming up for me and not project onto people that I love, which is super important.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And, my heart goes out to you and my condolences. Thank you so much for being so raw and authentic with your journey. And I'm so excited to be part of sharing that to the audience with you. And thank you for taking the time again for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes. So let's go ahead and start a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
So yeah, I grew up in the film industry. Actually, my dad worked in Hollywood, and what was really cool about that, I was exposed to a lot of filmmakers and like the coaches of actors, like high level actors in Hollywood. And so as a child, I got a lot of great experience learning from these amazing coaches. And one of the most valuable things that I learned is it's a lot about mindset. You get these actors who are on stage and there's a lot of pressure to perform. And I started out in fitness and I learned a lot from these fitness coaches in Hollywood and whatnot. And I took that, and the deeper I got into it, I started to realize like the root of making change for people, like you can exercise, you could diet, all that great stuff. But the root of change for most people has to do with their emotions and also their nervous system. And so I've kind of pivoted. I still do a little bit of fitness coaching, which is always a beautiful tool to have, and doing nutritional consulting, to getting into more deeper subjects like shadow work, quantum healing, published my book on shadow work. And then I built my Alchemy Healing Academy, where I do presentations. Like last night, I did a presentation on Chinese face reading. And I just love teaching this wisdom because there's such a vast level of ancient wisdom that we've almost like forgotten. And my goal is to empower people by reviving that wisdom and teaching more people how to get sober, get off drugs, get off alcohol, stop watching porn, playing video games, and actually doing the work to heal your emotional pain. And that truly is why I wrote my book, Shadow Awakening. You really awaken to who you're truly meant to be. And that is absolutely priceless.
That's incredible. Sounds like you are very busy, but yeah, what a great story and a great origin story. What inspired the book Shadow Awakening? What was your inspiration with that?
Well, like, it's just like it's one of those things where you have to go through your own shadow, like awakening yourself, like going through, like realizing my own emotional pain. Like I feel like a lot of our society, specifically with men, like we're told not to feel things. And so I found that I had a lot of suppressed emotional pain, like anger and fear, and then like abandonment wounds. And so as I got deeper into navigating that stuff, it created this beautiful space where I felt much safer expressing myself, coming back to the point where my fear suppressing emotional pain, it often dysregulates the nervous system. And honestly, I found this coach many years ago, probably like 7 8 years ago. He said, like, I don't even start doing anything with a client until we do the shadow work, because you get 4 steps into any coaching program. If you haven't done your shadow work, the shadow pops up and sabotages you. And I was like, damn, that makes a lot of sense, because your unconscious mind is actually running the show all the time. And so as you teach people how to understand when that shadow pops up, that's a great opportunity, instead of suppressing emotions, to integrate those emotions. I like to say suppressed emotions are like our demons and whatnot, the anger, the guilt that I'm not going to feel. But then when you face those demons, right, you integrate them. Now they're like your ally, and they're guiding you to the greatest abundance that you are worthy of, because it's all just energy at the end of the day. And you're repressing or suppressing parts of yourself, which a lot of people are. We have trauma, fragmented soul and whatnot from childhood experiences. And a lot of my work is just really educating people about how powerful they are. And that's been the most beautiful thing for me, is I just love teaching this wisdom, because we all innately have the ability to heal ourselves. All that I feel like we do as healers, being on the Healing Lounge, is that we are helping people to create the alignment to teach them like breath work, or doing like journeys and whatnot, and supporting people to get that alignment and that attunement. And then it's really about people consistently maintaining that proper mindset, that proper diet, that proper awareness around their emotions, and knowing how to keep themselves in that calm space so they can become their own healer. Ultimately, we're all our own healer, and just many people have forgotten that. And when you help them with creating that attunement, the results are magical. And that's the thing I love the most about this work, man. Just seeing in Chinese medicine, they call it the shen, which is the fire. And you see that shen, that fire come back in somebody's eyes. And that's like I get a high off that. Like, he couldn't believe. And you see somebody like realizing, wow, I can get off these pharmaceutical drugs. Like, wow, I can heal from this breakup. Like, wow, I don't have to identify with my past. And like that to me is like, it's like crack to me. I can't get enough of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels great.
That is incredible. That's amazing. And yeah, when it comes to shadow work and uh going through the motion and this and the process of healing, what is the most common thing that people deal with when they come to you for assistance, for help, for guidance in their shadow work? What is the most common thing that you see or you notice in people?
Well, the most common thing is really simple. People are using an old map to create their reality. One of the things we talk about in like neuro-linguistic programming is the map is not the territory. I believe it was Albert Korbsky who said that. Well, oftentimes when I'm listening to people, when I say listen, like you said, you're a good listener too. Like my dad's was a sound mixer. So I don't listen. This is a really crucial point. I do not listen to what people say. I listen to the rate, the pitch, the tone, the inflection, and the power words of how they are describing their reality. And that tells me what's going on with their roadmap. And then what I do is when I figure out what's going on in the roadmap, and that roadmap is essentially who they identify as in the unconscious mind, then we can kind of be like, I like to call myself like a surgeon. We can kind of cut out the crap, or we got to call residue that's blocking us. And then we can start to shift and manifest a new reality, because instead of us suppressing those emotions coupled with our imagination are the key to manifestation. And when you put all that together, that's where, like, as I was mentioning, the magic happens, because your greatest self, that's why I call it the Alchemy Healing Academy. The alchemy is finding the gold in that darkness. Like 90% of your shadow is pure gold. It's just that 10% of darkness that we sift through, and we access that gold, and then you totally awaken to who you were always meant to be. But you couldn't find that if you're suppressing or repressing parts of your soul.
That's incredible. Really well said. And yes, I completely agree with that. When it comes to your shadow, that is a very important part of your path, your discovery in a sense, your liberation is part of that. Shaking hands with it, it's becoming friends with the shadow, and also allowing it to be a teacher instead of an enemy. I think it's very important too. Who do you say is your client? Who would come to you? Who are you working with right now? Are you working with specific demographic? Are you working with specific age group? Who is your predominant client?
So I've been coaching for about 20 years, and predominantly work with women. I'd say like 60 to 70% women. It's like they used to call me the mommy whisperer because I was helping so many mothers lose weight, kind of creepy name. But even helped my own mom lose 60 pounds at one point by changing her mindset around sugar. But usually women seem a little more open to doing this work. And so I love working with men because like men really, really need this work to heal their emotional pain. I can't tell you how many women like, I wish you work with my dad or my uncle or my boyfriend or my husband, but you can't make somebody do this work if they're not ready. You can't make a seed grow if it doesn't want to grow. And so coming back to your question, I primarily work with women, and a lot of women, I help them heal their wounds around masculinity, trauma from their past with the masculine. There's a lot of that we need to heal. Like some of my biggest wounds come from men in my past too. And so, yeah, it's really about just working with people who are ready to do the work. And it's like, it's this beautiful mess. You have to go into the ugliest parts of yourself. But as you go into the ugliest parts, that's what reveals the beauty. And that's the piece that's so amazing. The people, basically anybody who's ready to actually do the work, they want to actually transcend the illusion of self and shift their identity and actually finally show up as who they're meant to be.
That's wonderful. Do you find yourself working with a lot of people that are looking to free themselves of certain addictions, or do you find yourself working more with people who are looking just to access different parts of themselves as far as their spiritual evolution?
So like I tell people like the other day, lady was like, I was talking about spirituality, and she's like, what's spirituality? I was like, it's extremely simple. What is the word spiritual? It's spirit and ritual. So spirit comes from the Latin word spirare, which means to breathe. And then the word ritual is just the rituals of your day-to-day life. So spirituality is just breath ritual. And so that's why meditation, breath work, these fundamental things, because the first thing you have in life is your breath. The last thing you have in life is your breath. So when we talk about spirituality, it can mean many things to different people. It's just breath ritual. But what I find is that people who come to me, like what actually happens is like when they just go through my program, like my online academy, my online school, it's super affordable. And I've had people all over the world, they joined, and like I launched about a year and a half ago, and everyone in the program just got sober. Like I didn't even ask them to. They just started watching my teachings and explaining to them how the energetic body works and how the nervous system works and how trauma affects them. And literally like I didn't even ask them, and everyone just started getting sober. Because like, why would I use these drugs or this alcohol if I'm dysregulating my nervous system and literally blocking my magnetic frequency to attract the life of my dreams? And so I actually only recently started marketing myself as a sobriety coach because I felt like, I could try and sell myself as a spiritual coach, shadow work coach, alchemy, which I still use those terms, but sobriety is actually all of those things. Sobriety is alchemy. Sobriety is spirituality. Sobriety is shadow work. And so I'm trying to find new and unique ways to reach my target audience. As I mentioned, just people who are actually ready to get into oh my God, the ugliest parts of yourself. Those are the places where we actually heal, guys. We can't keep running away and drugging ourselves. And I'm making it sound like a joke, but it is deep work. And like, that's the part that I just love guiding people through that process. But ultimately people have to be ready to face that. But people get sober on their own just by actually integrating the wisdom that I teach. And I thought that was pretty fascinating. Like, damn, y'all are getting sober. One guy's like, I've been 8 months sober. You're like, I didn't even know you're getting sober, dude. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's incredible. That amount of impact in such a short time really says a lot about the level of information and wisdom that you share. What led you to create an academy?
Honestly, I think I know that our education system is broken. Our education system is designed to make you weak, dumb, on drugs, working some shithole, for the language, shithole 9-to-5 job that you hate. And you're just in rinse and repeat every single day doing the same crap. You wake up and you go to the job that you take your anxiety pill, go to the job that you don't even enjoy. Then you come home and you eat some processed crap food. And then you go watch Netflix and chill, whatever it is. And then you just do the same thing over and over. And so I'm joking around, but it's very true. I realized like, what's the best way to change the world? Knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I realized by building my own academy, my own healing academy, how do we take our power back from the corrupt pharmaceutical industries? How do we take our power back from this corrupt food industry that's literally poisoning us? It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. Like they are literally poisoning us. Like I got my degree in nutrition. I'd say it's the greatest spiritual awakening was like when I realized what's in our food, I'm like, this is all filled with poison. And so I realized that, knowledge is power, and to truly empower people, We have to educate them. And so that's what led me to creating the academy. Well, on a step back, I was reading all these books. Like yesterday, I did a presentation on Chinese face reading. This is an amazing book, by the way. And I started just reading all these books, and you read a book and you forget it, So I started reading books and then creating presentations from the books and then teaching it to my clients. And I realized, like, wait a second, like, I'm going to become an expert at teaching this wisdom. And I was doing it one-on-one, and I was like, I should just turn this into a group thing. And I've got like, I think 50 something presentations that now it's just like rinse and repeat. Like the Chinese face reading presentation, I think I've done it like 10 times, but everyone loves it. I do it once a year in my academy. People love learning about Chinese face reading. And so that's what I'm basically doing. I'm taking some of the dopest books. I'm like taking all the wisdom and just breaking it down into like the most powerful content. And I'm teaching that in my academy. And people are loving it. It's just amazing to see, like, there's so much great wisdom out there, but people are overloaded because there's so much. So like what I do is I've read so many, like people call me the walking encyclopedia, and I'm still learning, but I just take all this wisdom, organize it, and then I give people these 45-minute, 50-minute presentations, and they get all the beauty. Like I did a presentation on the book, The Body Keeps the Score. It's one of the best books ever written on healing, but people they don't read it. You know what I'm saying? So let's sit down. I have weekly calls in my online school where I can teach people the wisdom, keep them accountable. And let me say, as another key point, is I love teaching. I'm very talented at teaching, but that's not where the change happens. We have to have an embodiment practice. So in my school, I don't just teach, we do meditations too, where I teach different specific meditations, because it's one thing to have the knowledge, but until you embody that knowledge, it's really just a beautiful word vomit. I mean, I'm joking around, but you know what I'm saying? We have to have an embodiment of what we learn.
I love that. And I love how passionate you are about what you do and the way that you present this information. How do people usually ask you for ways for them to keep up what they're doing, keep up with what they're teaching, what they're learning? Say they break free of a certain program that they're dealing with. Do you offer like an aftercare program for them to be consistently on? How does that work?
So my online school, we have meditation classes twice a week, and we have the teaching once a week. So like a lot of people work with me one-on-one, and they finish that, or I'm actually doing a shadow work certification soon. So people can finish that, and then they jump in my group program, and that's all really affordable. It helps to keep them accountable, because it's one thing, like I said, to know this wisdom, but to be able to consistently do your meditation practice, which comes back to what I said earlier about your emotions and your nervous system, you have to make it a regular practice. And like for years, I ran 2 gyms. People would come to me to keep them accountable. So now, instead of doing exercise, which I still do a little bit of exercise coaching, I'm doing meditation coaching and keeping people accountable for regulating their nervous system. I feel personally, and this is not just for people that work with me, but also myself, we are so overstimulated today. So like honoring, I always tell people you should do 24 minutes of meditation a day, 1 minute for each hour of the day. It's a minimum. And when you do that consistently, you feel so much better. You feel safer in your body. You feel so much calmer. So that's why I have like my meditation classes, they're only $30 a month. Make it stupid affordable. Like, and anybody could afford $30 a month. And so we set it up so that anybody can get in, start making it a regular practice, and so their body can start healing itself. If your nervous system is regulated, you're going to heal. If your nervous system is not regulated, I don't care what doctor, therapy, or prescription drug you take, it will not heal. It's a joke. Your doctor is lying to you. Take this drug. But if your nervous system is regulated, why would your body heal? It's such a joke. You know what I'm saying? And I say that from experience. I was going to so many doctors and therapists to heal my own pain, and none of it worked until I actually cleared my energy field and regulated my nervous system.
Do you see the teaching that you're teaching right now? Do you see this being implemented to our schooling system?
Maybe. I mean, I can't tell you how many parents tell me I should be teaching like emotional intelligence classes at the high school level, but we have a lot of old ways that are slowly dying, and I like to say this, like the worse things get, the better it is for business. Like it's kind of like messed up, but like the darker things get, I mean, I teach shadow work. So it's like many people don't realize how much when you don't do your shadow work, it's projected into your external world. Like, oh, I'm not going to face that in here. Well, guess what? It's going to keep showing up. Like if you're suppressing an abandonment wound, you're going to keep attracting experiences of abandonment. Like, why I keep being abandoned? Because you didn't face it within yourself. So I like to say that until humanity like really starts to suffer. It's like people have to get like, the doctor says, you have cancer. Like, I have cancer. I might have to change my diet and actually change some things now. It's like, how, like, I mean, I'm trying to be joking, but it's actually very true. Like, if things are going to get a lot like relatively worse, like I said, it's going to be great for my business because I love what I do. But people are just like, oh, anything facing myself. Oh, it's the president's fault. It's this person's fault. It's the religion's fault. Everyone's going to just keep pointing the finger. But until we face ourselves, that's when the education system will start to adopt it. Things have to get really ugly first. And like for me, I mean, I'm doing the work and I'm still working on myself. As I mentioned, it's been a very tough week myself. But the darker things get, I always say the darkness reveals the light. Stars don't shine without darkness. Roots grow in the darkness. And until we actually authentically embody the teachings, we're not going to see a massive change. So I feel like it's possible, but things are going to have to get a lot worse. And the worse they get, the better things will get. So it's just like the law of polarity in action, pretty much.
Yes, absolutely. And what do you tell people or clients when they're taking prescription medications and they feel obligated to take them? How does that conversation look like?
So like years ago, I wasn't even trying to help my clients get off medication. I was just helping them to exercise and helping them change their diet, like 10, 15 years ago running my gyms. And like I never said anything about prescription drugs. They like came to me like, hey, my doctor said my blood pressure changed from working out and I don't need my blood pressure medication. I'm like, wow, that's cool. And so that like just kind of happened naturally. And I've had other clients where like I taught them shadow work and they started facing their emotional pain and healing it. And all of a sudden, they're not depressed. Oh, crazy. Like, oh, you faced your emotional pain and now you don't need antidepressants. It doesn't seem like it seems so simple. Like, it just happens naturally. I don't need to I don't go like, hey, we're going to get you off drugs. Like, you're just naturally going to get off drugs. Your body doesn't want to be on drugs. That's the thing I find is like a challenge for like you and me is like, we're literally up against multi-billion-dollar companies that want to drug us into oblivion. And I'm like over here, I got a couple $1,000s to invest in marketing, and reach more people. But like ultimately, it's going to come down to people doing the work, and the work is what actually reveals who you truly are. So it's just empowering people and supporting people through that process.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have any events coming up that people should check out?
Yeah, actually, I'm launching my first retreat in May. It's going to be on the coast here in California, up in Gualala. It's a 5-day retreat. I have a few spots left, like 3 or 4 spots left for that. It's going to be a 5-day technology detox. We will take your phone away. You will not have your phone. Like we'll have it in a place where you can get it if you need it. But I'm really excited about that. Even myself, I might still have my phone for some pictures for the event, but just out in nature. It's off grid. It's going to be by the beach and should be amazing. It's my first ever retreat. I've been going to retreats for years. And then I'm also launching my first ever shadow work certification program. I haven't picked the date yet, but I'm probably going to launch that in April. And I'm going to certify people in shadow work. I feel like shadow work is arguably one of the top 5 most important tools that we can implement for our healing journey here on this planet. So my goal is to certify people. And when I say certify people, it's just educate them to the degree that they can recognize their own shadow and then start teaching other people how to do shadow work, which is, yeah, like I said, just figuring out how to market all that and just get more people in those programs, because it is priceless when you get triggered and instead of you projecting your shadow at other people, you realize, like, wait, I've been triggered and I'm feeling something. Instead of projecting my anger at you, I can begin to like, where did my anger come from? And start to slow. That's why I feel like a lot of my work is getting people to slow down and feel instead of I've been triggered and no, just going crazy, which used to be me. It took a lot of like deep introspection and whatnot to actually recognize and implement and embody these tools. That's actually my word for the year is embodiment.
Embodiment. That's a good word. Yes, definitely looking forward to the retreat and your course, your certification course. That's amazing. Little fun thing we like to play here on the Healing Lounge, a little manifestation game, I guess you could say. If money was not an issue, what would you be doing right now?
I've been doing the same thing, without a doubt. I mean, like, what would be different? I'd have the plan is to have my own retreat center, small retreat center. I don't want to manage a bunch of stuff. I want to have a small private space somewhere here on the California coast. And the goal is to use the online business to attract people all over the world. So I'd be doing the exact same thing, just I'd have a badass retreat center. That's the only real change. Because not just from like my clients, but also for myself, maybe be a little selfish there. Like I just want to be off grid and away from most people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'd be a lot happier being in nature more and just like away from all the Wi-Fi signals and the technology. Not that it's like bad, but it's overwhelming sometimes. And so I feel like the greatest healing happens in nature. I'm really into Taoist philosophy. That's where I wear my yin yang hat here. And the Taoism, long story short, is just basically a return to nature. And I feel like the more we can get people in nature, off of their phones, reconnecting with their heart, reconnecting with their soul, that is the roots of all healing. So that's the only real difference. I just have the most amazing retreat space.
That's amazing. And what do you like to do on your daily self-care practice? What is your self-care look like on a daily basis?
Well, as I mentioned, this past week's been very rough because I broke up with my girlfriend. I literally thought I was going to marry her. I was so in love with her. And so what I've been doing, I've been just exercising every day. As I mentioned, I used to run gyms, so I know fitness very well. So I've been working out twice a day, light workouts, meditating for 24 minutes a day, really simple diet, just lots of vegetables. I always tell people nuts, berries, fruits, and vegetables. Lots of colors in your diet is the foundation. And just sitting in the sun, like reconnecting to the earth, being really grounded. I think a big mistake that the spiritual community makes, and this was me years ago too, is like trying to ascend and be this like ascending, this rising energy. But real spirituality actually means going into the earth. It means being very grounded. It means slowing down. It means being very, very embodied. As I mentioned, that's my word for the year. And that doesn't happen by trying to ascend, like the truth of the matter. And this is just my opinion, but from Taoist philosophy, we have to get into that dark feminine space, that yin energy, right? And the more we go into that dark feminine, because a lot of the world's really into this yang energy, this masculine energy. And even as a man, I have to embody that divine feminine energy. So the more I slow down, take the time to feel and heal and honor my healing journey, then I'm showing up more authentically. So just my regular practice of grounding myself is arguably the most important thing that I think for most people on the spiritual path is to really just feel safe in your body, slow down the path. And as I mentioned in my book, the path is the medicine.
That's amazing. Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. And for anyone out there who's looking to get into the holistic industry as a career choice, it could be anything. What advice would you like to give them and share with them?
Well, first off, I'd say make sure you love it. Whatever you do, make sure you really love it. Because, like I love what I do, but there's days where it's tough, and just like as an entrepreneur, you really need to be passionate about what you choose to do and specifically find a really good mentor. Like make sure you get somebody instead of just trying to like read a few books and just get out there and watch some YouTube videos and start coaching people, which like the coaching space it's strange these days. Like anybody can be a coach, make sure you hire an authentic mentor. I actually I mentor coaches as well. Because I've been doing it for 20 years. I used to mentor fitness coaches and now I'm mentoring healing coaches. And as I mentioned, mentoring people in shadow work. And so like I would recommend finding somebody who really knows what they're doing. Even me, I'm looking to hire a marketing coach right now to help me because like I'm really good at what I do, but I got to figure out how to market it better, So hire good mentors. There's great people out there who can support you in working with them and learning their system. I always like to say the word system is save yourself time, energy, and money. System, save yourself time, energy, and money. Because a lot of coaches, including myself, you waste a lot of time doing all kinds of stuff. You can make that path much more succinct with you when you have proper guidance. So you can implement a system that already works and then customize it to your own needs. And that's essentially what I've done is I have a system with my teachings. And I tell coaches who work with me, like learn what I teach and then build your own system from it. Save yourself time, energy, and money, man. Priceless.
Yes, great words. Yes, some of the best things that we can do for ourselves and is to invest in yourself, to invest in your own and everything, and your health and your business and your mental health, whatever it may be. Investing in yourself is probably one of the best ways to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish in life. Yeah, so thank you so much for that wisdom. Is there anything that you want the audience out there to know about that we haven't covered so far?
I would say just make sure to slow down. I feel like I kind of mentioned that before. We're moving so fast in society and all the advancements in technology that the most valuable thing that I could share with anyone is to like really slow down. Like it's always now. And I always say the word now backwards is one because you're winning. You've won if you can really just be in this present moment. And so that was a challenge for me years ago. And I was like running my gyms. I actually had a film studio. I was running an Airbnb. I was just like, go, 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 go. Like, stay busy. Don't feel your pain. Don't feel your pain. Do not feel your pain. Just stay busy, make more money, help more people, people pleaser, and the slowdown and like going through COVID, like I had to actually really face all my stuff. So it's not about how long you live, it's the quality of your life. And the more you can slow down, the more you're going to honor the path and really, truly not only feel things more, but like you're going to feel safer in your body. And that's absolutely priceless because, I mean, like I said, I had a couple of people in my life die in the last week. So it's forced me to slow down and just really appreciate each precious moment that I have, specifically even just being here with you right now. I'm truly grateful. And yeah, the more we can slow down, the more we can honor loving ourselves.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for saying that. And yes, likewise, I appreciate our time together and very grateful for you. You mentioned COVID, and I know you also mentioned you had a gym as well. How did COVID affect that, and how did it transmute your career path?
Well, what's funny is I was already working on my shadow work program while running my gym and was actually already teaching meditation classes out of my gym. And COVID, I mean, it was like the worst time ever to have a gym, right? I had my corporate gym that I was running and my private gym. And, I tried to keep it open. And it was just like, this isn't working. I'm not trying to sit here and force people to wear masks and work out. And so luckily I was able to shut that down, move back in with my folks and build a camper van and start traveling, which is great because I wasn't paying rent and I could just travel in this van. It was actually one of the best periods of my life. But like it forced me to like really get to know myself more and go deeper into that shadow work journey. And that is what I feel like was very liberating. It would really set me free from like over identification with just being this fitness coach and really starting to embody these deeper teachings. Because I had mentors who told me like, Odie, you're really meant to be a healer. You're not meant to just be a fitness coach, even though I'm damn good at doing fitness coaching. And so it kind of broke the shackles of this identification with who I thought I was to discover who I truly am. And that has been instrumental to not only my own self-discovery, but also being a bold mirror for many people on their path to self-discovery, self-realization, and finally being who they're meant to be.
That's amazing. Yes, it sounds like a true amazing journey that you had there during that time during the shutdown, right? Where a lot of people had to forcefully do a lot of things and create different versions of what it meant to do for money for a career. I'm sure a lot of people felt that, and it sounds like you turned into something that was pretty negative, and you turned it into something that was catapulted you into your present moment. So that's amazing.
That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So, Odie, tell us, how can people reach out to you? How can people find you? If I want to know more about your retreats, about your book, about your academy, where can I find that information?
Well, the easiest way to work with me is my book, Shadow Awakening, available on Amazon. It's only $15. I want to make a really affordable way for people to get the teachings. And then you can check me out at alchemyhealingacademy.com. You can access, I have a free ebook there. I've got a money shadow workshop, which is actually really cool. And then also a meditation workshop that's all free on my website, alchemyhealingacademy.com. If you want to follow me on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, it's all the same thing, Alchemy Healing Academy. So you can just search for me there. And I do post regular videos and content just to inspire and empower more people all over the world. Because that's the goal here, is to empower a tribe of global healers to do the work and then share that wisdom and just be like this beautiful ripple all over the world, affecting people in a fantastic way to heal themselves.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I definitely see that vision for you, and it's definitely manifesting every minute, every moment. So thank you so much for being here and sharing what it is that you do, why it is that you do, and yes, all the best to you on your journey. And everyone, feel free to check out Odie's website, check out his book. I'll leave all those links below. Thank you again, everyone, for being here and joining us for another episode of the Healing Lounge. Odie, thank you. Very grateful for you.
My pleasure.